Welcome to High History, the show where we get lifted while digging deep into the past. This isn't your high school textbook history. No dusty dates, no boring lectures. We're talking the wild, the weird, and the what the hell really happened moments that shaped our world.
From revolutions to renaissance, from ancient queens to unsung geniuses, we bring you the stories that matter with a twist of comedy, culture, and community. So spark your curiosity and maybe something else. Lean back and let's get into some high history. Welcome to High History. My name is Danny, your reefer ref.
My name is Mo, keeper of time, first of her name.
And I'm Nick, your Liddy librarian, the flame and the fact checker.
Whoop whoop. And today we are bringing you actually a fairly known little bit of history with a lot of weirdness around it. It's called the Great Emu War, which means that we are headed to the land down under. You know where that is. Just checking. Yes. All right. So context for you, setting the time frame. We are right after World War One.
Okay, so 30s. 1935,
Two.
4.
Right
Okay,
before the
1932.
Right before the Great Depression.
Little late, okay.
Yeah. So we're specifically talking in the year 1932, right before Great Depression really hit everywhere. So we're in Australia, Southwest Australia. Is one of the bigger desert areas. I mean, all of Australia is a desert.
Yeah, it's pretty dry.
I was about to say,
IDK. I need to do my research. Sorry, Australia. But
sorry. But they do have like the most deadly poison animals or animals that kill you all in one little area, like land, sea, everywhere.
Yeah.
Spiders flying at you the size of a plate.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm always like captivated by the amount of species that live in Australia.
The snakes alone,
like the snakes,
yeah. Two-Step Charlie, aren't those there?
Yeah,
Two-Step Charlie
from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Now you know what you watch.
Crazy. It just seems like so beautiful, but also there's a part that's super not for humans are not supposed to be there. But anyway. I digress.
All right. So we're in Australia. And I don't know if you know this, but Australia was originally populated by Aborigine people, native populations, and they're the oldest native populations in the world. They date back, they have records back to like 45,000 years ago, which is insane. A lot of their records are oral, some are written in caves, but the oldest living population in the world. So the land belonged to these folks, and the British with their T.
Of course, it always starts with the freaking British.
Yes. So they sailed, and they're like, "Hey, look, we've discovered this land.
A new land.
You think you own whatever land you land on?"
And they did. Yeah.
The earth is just a dead thing you can claim.
I mean, they weren't wrong with.
So they did in the name of the Queen. That's why there's
Always.
Queensland, Australia.
Yes.
And Lake Victoria, Australia. So they did. They claimed it in the name of the British and said, "This is our land." And they kicked all of the native people out. Air quote.
What's an island? Where did they
conquered? Conquered them. So they made them slaves and killed the majority of genocide, slave. It's the typical British history. Actually, a typical history of
any history.
Yeah, all
any
humans.
Civilization.
Pretty diabolical to just capture humans, but
all right. So World War One, Ferdinand, friends, all the things happened. World War One, Germany, etc. End of the war. All of these soldiers are going to Australia because they are going back home that they just got from the Queen, and the government was saying, "Hey, we just happened to stumble across this huge area of land down here, and we'd love for you to settle there and build some wheat farms."
Did they tell them it was a freaking desert?
I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like that's a really early bait and switch tactic.
I
Yeah.
was about to say, you get you taking a ship or something down
Yeah.
there, and you
Wild.
get off the boat, and you like, hold up, what?
And
That's what you
and the
should do.
government knew that the farm was poor soil. It had inconsistent rainfall, and it wasn't an easy climate. So they knew that ahead of time. Whether they told them or not, though, that's a
I
really
doubt
good
it.
question.
Okay, sorry.
All right, so the
Onward.
government's like, "Thank you so much for fighting in the war. You did it. You're heroes. Here, have this plot of land and grow some wheat. And if you do grow the wheat, we will pay you pounds or pences per bushel, like a small amount. I think it was like 3 or 4 pences per bushel.
Which that's
Wait, actually, wait, I
that's
have it.
nothing.
They promised 4 shillings per
Oh,
bushel.
shillings. How much is a shilling?
I don't do the conversions.
Okay, let
That's
me
you.
tell you. But continue.
You're the living
librarian.
librarian.
I got it.
Come on, Nick. Check your library system. Checking.
Yeah.
Right.
Checking.
So
Checking.
shilling is basically 54 cents.
Okay, so 54 cents a bushel, which honestly at that time though, we have inflation now.
Oh wait, no, actually the shilling was more. It was about $1 to every 50 United States cents.
Okay. So $1 a bushel.
Yeah.
Well, they get the land, they start farming, and they go to sell the wheat back to the government. And guess what?
What?
The government was like, well, we can't pay you 4 shillings a bushel, but we can pay you 3 shillings a bushel.
Oh, that's wild.
And you're like stuck there. That's the part that's so crazy. It's
Yeah.
like you willingly went there for
Freaking
Yeah.
island.
Damn you.
You have nowhere else to go. And you built all of these wheat fields for the government because they told you so, because you should always listen to the government.
What a
Okay.
scam, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. So then on top of that, in 1932, all of the economies were failing at this point, right? Because the Great Depression was triggering. On top of that, Australia was going through a massive drought. So that impacted them even further. By 1932, the farmers were in dire need of resources and funding, because after the government promised the 3 shillings, they never actually delivered it. So they didn't even get paid for this wheat.
Damn it, that sucks. Poor dudes.
Yo, that would be like my 13th reason. Like, what do you mean I moved here? Like, what do you mean I was planting all this wheat? What do you mean you lowered the price on me? What do you mean you don't pay me at all? Oh no.
Yeah. So in addition to not being paid, they are then, the universe said, let there be consequences to your action in that is counterintuitive to a natural pattern by planting all of these massive wheat crops where we've never had wheat crops before. Guess what happened? A usually small pack bird of like small 20-ish birds in a pack descended in flocks of 20,000 to mow down the farmers' fences and destroy this buffet of wheat.
So we're now on a 14th reason.
Seriously.
Because it was free food.
Yeah.
Like,
what kind of bird?
How you gonna
They've
stop
never-
a whole bunch of emus?
In 45,000 years, they've never seen that much wheat in one place. It was like a hallelujah for the birds, you know?
Yeah.
So of course they're all going to go down there.
Listen, they probably felt like it was divine, like that's a blessing. They're like, what do we look like turning this down? Are y'all crazy?
Right? But to be fair, also in the smaller herds of 20, like if I saw 20 emu just coming at me, I'm like, you have the wheat, just take it. But 20,000?
Yeah, so these birds are like over 6 feet tall. They're like 100-pound birds.
And they're mean.
Right? And humans were a little bit smaller then because we didn't have as much GMOs in food yet. So we weren't as round as we are. You know how we're slowly getting towards the Wall-E status.
They couldn't throw their weight around.
Yeah, so these emus were freaking huge, man, staring these farmers down. So the farmers, they didn't know what to do. So their solution is to go to the Minister of Defense, not the agriculture people, not anyone that knows about nature, or even the Aboriginals that had lived there for 45,000 years before with no problems. No, they said, let's go to the defense minister, Sir George Pierce, and let's see what he can do for us. Happened to be a year of voting to renew office. So he was like, oh, we lost Mo. Oh, there's Mo.
No, she's here.
She's just thinking. She's pondering.
No, she might be on mute.
Oh, she is on mute. That's what happened.
No, so I try to be on mute when I'm not talking, but
Oh,
I really was pondering, like you were explaining it, and I'm like, wow, I had a whole visual going in my head about
Minister of Defense.
everything that you were saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the stars, they're aligned.
Well, they're not about to be aligned, and they're not great and powerful gods, because Sir George Pierce is like, this is such a great time for me to have a political moment. In fact, I will respond to these farmers' plights. Yes, look at me as the hero. And interestingly, this isn't a situation, you know, where you, as a hero, set up the situation so that you can go in and be a hero, kind of like our current administration. This is an actual like disaster, because these farmers that have been there for like a whole generation are losing their farm, right? So they go to Sir George Pierce, and Sir George Pierce is like, okay, military people, take 3 soldiers and 2 Tommy Lewis machine guns and head down there and destroy the emus and save the farmers. So these three military dudes, they load up 20,000 rounds of ammo.
Just three.
Just three. Yeah, just 3.
I mean, that is so audacious to say. Hey,
They're just dumb birds that don't fly. So how hard could it be?
Right. The fastest land bird.
But also keep in mind, okay, this is the same group of people that invented a cup for their balls 100 years before a helmet for their brain.
Helmet. Fair enough.
So we got these birds, bro. You know, nothing would fly over my head. I would catch it. Type shit. All right. So these 3 soldiers from the Royal Australian Artillery arrived with the Lewis light machine guns, and they went out on the first day to go try to shoot all these birds. Well, they put the machine guns out, and these birds turns out super sensitive to sound. So as soon as they started firing at like birds, one, they discovered that they are in fact feathery ninjas that can go in multiple directions at the same time. 2, they found out that the birds can in fact outrun bullets.
Yes, they're fast, man.
3, they found out that this is not going to be as easy as they thought it would be.
Interesting. So did they go back and get more people?
They had a moment where they're like, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Oh.
So
they thought them 3 was gonna go out there and really round up on
20,000 birds.
Yeah, they did. It did not go according to plan at all. Also, the guns were jamming, so it was hard to get going. In addition to, they were stuck on the ground and the birds were just running away, and those guns are heavy to carry. So they're like, all right, let's rethink this. Let's get a bigger boat. Let's put these machine guns on wheels so we can chase the birds.
Oh, no.
Right? So they take these machine guns and they mount them to like World War I trucks. I don't know if you know, but they didn't have shocks and shit at the time. It was like just one full chassis all the way across. So they put these machine guns
with a heavy gun on it.
Yeah. And so there's one dude riding on the back that's trying to shoot the machine gun, and then one dude driving. And I have to back up a hot second, because when the farmers actually went to the government for help, there were some stipulations that I forgot to tell you.
Oh, gosh.
One, stipulations.
Yeah. In order for the government to help the farmers, one, they would have to pay for all of the ammo.
The farmers, that the government wouldn't pay them for their wheat that they were growing.
Wheat, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So they're dead.
We're not going to pay you for the wheat, but if you want our help with the birds, you're going to have to pay for the ammo.
Oh, no.
So they were like, well, obviously we're going to have to do something, because these birds are destroying our livestock, our livelihood with the wheat, not our livestock. The second stipulation was that they had to house these 3 military dudes and feed them the whole time they were there, which it wasn't as bad. But what that means is that then they took the farmers' trucks to mount these machine guns to, because they're only using the farmers' supplies, right?
Oh, no.
So these are old farm trucks. with machine guns on them. So they are trying to drive around shooting at these birds with their 10,000 rounds of ammo. And what they found when they got the machine guns onto the trucks wasn't as easy as they thought it was going to. They keep underestimating nature and they overestimate themselves, I find a lot. But not only was it really difficult, always, not only was it really difficult to drive around and shoot straight and accurately because of how bouncy it was, the birds had also developed new tactics. They also gathered and said, we're going to need a new plan, not a new boat, a bigger boat. And they actually appointed lookout birds that would then spot the trucks with the loud machine guns, alert the other birds to run in the other direction. So they had scouting parties.
With birds.
Wow.
With birds.
Wow. Them three really thought they was going to go out there.
Yes. So they went out.
The three because that's crazy. And these birds are evolving in real time.
Real time. IRL.
IRL. This is like learning lessons real time. Yes. So they went out and chased these birds for another couple of days. And after a couple of days, they decided to wrap the mission and call it a failure. Well, they called it a success. And when they went back, they had inconsistent reports that actually got delivered. The only one that was really in writing was that they ended up using almost all of the ammunition, so all 10,000 rounds, and they killed less than 200 birds.
So they blew through 10,000 rounds of ammo at the end of the beginning of the Depression, where it started to hit everywhere. And then the farmers had to pay for that, and the emus still ate all their wheat.
Yeah, and then that's not even the end of it. So in order to call it, in order to make it so that it wasn't a complete failure, because the birds had already won at this point, the military decided to cut their losses from military and then give the actual battle to the civilians. So they put a bounty on all of the emus. And in the next 6 months, over 57,000 bounties were collected for emus. They were placed on the vermin list.
That's sad.
Isn't it sad?
That's so great. That's so crazy. I just keep thinking about how nature always finds a way. And it's just so.
Well, didn't in this case.
Well, eventually it did, though, because now the emu is a protected bird. It's always been the national bird of the Aboriginal people. It's been a holy bird. And then that was one of the other reasons that it was so widely persecuted. You know, when you're trying to eliminate a culture, you want to eliminate all the things that are holy for it. They reclassified the emu as a vermin species so that it could be hunted, even though the emu is a sacred animal to the native Aboriginals. And that land specifically belonged just for historical is to the Nandor people of Southwest Australia that have records of being in that land for over 45,000 years. And in that 45,000 years, they never had a sea of 20,000 emus descend on wheat fields. They never had problems that required them to go and massacre giant amounts of nature.
That's because they didn't grow no damn wheat. They were smart. They're like, that's not native here.
For 4 shillings a bushel. Oh, wait,
why
just
would we
kidding.
do that? Yeah. Why would we disrupt what's supposed to be?
The ecosystem.
Yeah,
and that's why they didn't have 20,000 emus, rolling
exactly.
Guilty folly.
And that is the story of the Great Emu War of Australia.
That's freaking wild.
That was wild.
Another example of underestimating and overestimating. Underestimating the situation and overestimating abilities.
That happens frequently.
Frequently, a theme, a pattern, if you will, throughout history.
A conundrum, a little, if you will.
That doesn't happen with other decision makers ever.
No. What?
It is indeed a pattern, though, right? Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Okay. So yes, this is one of the same stories that is told a bunch of different ways, but I think that I love this story because, one, I think that I kept mentioning it through the podcast, but I think it's hilarious that not only did the government, hold up, there's two things can be true at once.
Right.
Right. I am just so angry for those initial farmers who got on a boat or however they got to Australia. And then they send them off to this land. They have no idea what it is. They just tell them they got to grow wheat and then promise them a certain amount of money for it, then take back on the money. Then the emus come and then you got to pay for your artillery and all this. It's like, and then you're not paying me on top of that. It's like,
I mean, that also happened though in the US, right?
Yeah.
The original settlers came and they just handed them land out in like California or Idaho, or no, actually that was too far west at the time.
Yeah, I'm about to say that
the natives were still there, and they're like, they didn't even know.
They had no idea about these people about to come and try to like yank them. That's crazy.
Or what's crazy. A bear or a mountain lion?
But then the second thing that is really hilarious is that they thought that 3 people could go against 20,000 emus. Like, to me, just with what they had, like, that's silly.
Do you not hear the arguments that fly around TikTok about the guys are like, could I beat a gorilla, or could a guy beat a gorilla, or a lion? Could 10 men beat a gorilla?
This is a thing?
Honestly, the dick swinging contest has been a thing since men have been alive.
Oh, for sure, but I didn't know it's a trend right now.
I would trace it all the way back to the fictional Cain and Abel.
Yeah. I think that's always going to be a trend. It's just, it's a different way people say it, but it's definitely always a trend. That ain't going nowhere. Ever.
I am man. I am strongest. I have made fire. Not all men. Not all men.
Not all, but this will always be there.
For sure. Yes. It's the testosterone from the Y chromosome.
Well, I gotta ask,
interesting story.
what's the most interesting part that you got from this story, both of you? Like what was like, yo, that's wild. That's completely like off the meter, kind of like funny or weird or noteworthy.
I would say, honestly, same as you. Like, I'm pretty sure they probably went on boat because this is the 1930s, right? Mm-hmm. So airplanes obviously are a thing. They flew them in the world, but they're not like traversing the world at this point, I don't think.
Yeah, there's not like a united.
Yeah.
Right. So they definitely were on a boat. And I'm sure they were on that boat for like months, right? How long does it take to get to Australia?
It's gotta be at least a couple of months, I would think.
Yeah, I mean weeks. I don't know the tides and the 20s travel of it all, 30s travel of it all.
Are you a librarian? I feel like we can look at how long it would take.
I will look it up.
Because when you have to go all the way like down below like Africa, like you have to go around a big ass landmass.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily. I guess it's the type of boat, right? But like, I don't know how many canals. Like, that seems like a very long way. Like, I don't know about like the route to get from England to Australia, but it seems like they would just go around.
Well, okay, just bad reference. This is horrible because it's television. But in 1923, the son is coming from Australia to America. He's going to Montana, and that took him months.
Yeah, almost all transit trips took months.
Yeah,
that was very normal. I think to answer your question about the thing that got me the most, honestly, the government lying, that's like par for course. Literally, when I look at any government, that's happened every single time. So that doesn't surprise me. The taking the land doesn't surprise me. What really caught me was that the emus were smart enough to adapt and evolve and put lookouts in charge and fight back.
Yeah, man.
That to me is like Avatar and Pandora, right? When all of those weird little creatures and all the native creatures come together to fight the man that's colonizing and stealing the and mining from the.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's wild. Okay, I have your facts for you. This is really interesting, you guys.
What's up?
In 1932, it took around 4 to 6 weeks. Those are typically your steamships, and they had liners, which were a little bit faster, 28 days. They did have early air flights in the 1930s, but those also took up to 2 weeks because they had to make multiple stops.
Mm.
Yeah.
And remember, these are soldiers coming back from World War One.
Right. So it's typically 4 to 6 weeks. So they're all like done with the war. All probably they're just mad
Getting
at
their
everything.
family out of
Yeah.
England and going, out of war-torn Europe and saying, we're going to Australia, to the land down under for the Bobby.
And then it turned out shitty. So yeah, that's surprising to me that they actually sat. What made them get onto the boat, for 4 weeks? Like, they must have promised them over the top. They did not tell these men that they're gonna get dirt and
But
just more
also,
dirt.
I don't think they needed to promise all that much in that time because like London was populated and dirty and people were trying to get out and find a new way, a new life. And it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows at that time. And so the chance of a life
Just
somewhere
now.
else was really alluring.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That is fair. That's fair. All right. Well, thank you so much for this beautiful, funny, amazing story where nature prevails as it does. Do we have any other questions, comments, little quips about this story?
Nope.
This
That was a good one.
That was a
I
good
would
one.
say my last comment is that nature is definitely the most powerful and mighty of gods.
Agreed.
There, love it.
Word to the mother.
Take that.
Word
get
to the mother. Well, thank you all for joining us for this episode of High History. Parting words, Danny.
History is always 420.
All right. What you got, Nick?
Stay classy, San Diego.
Can we say that?
I don't know.
I love that you said that. All right.
Well, what you got?
And stay hydrated. Stay curious. All right. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.